What is up, Twitch? What is up? Welcome to the stream. Another amazing show for you this morning. Crazy, crazy. How was your Thanksgiving? Mine was amazing. Man, just a crazy, crazy Thanksgiving. Holidays are already here. I hope everybody had an amazing Thanksgiving. Welcome if you're coming into the stream. Welcome to the Race Lace Podcast Network. I want to thank my Patreon users, of course, at the $5 level. You're getting that extra shots, pictures, stuff like that that we put in the background. At the $15 level, you're sending me questions that you might want me to ask my guest in the future. At the $35 level, you're actually in stream with us in the background, watching us live in a private chat room. At the $100 level, you're a business. You're a business owner that wants your business announced on the show, just like Tilted Farmhouse. If you want, Tilted Farmhouse is the guy to get you your shirts, your stickers, all your merch. Tilted Farmhouse is the way to go. That's that $100 Patreon level. And my actor, Jeremy Alvarez, as well, is a great subscriber of the show. So don't forget to check out Jeremy Alvarez on the movies, basically. If you go into movies, you'll see Jeremy Alvarez, the actor. It's pretty crazy. Let me show you guys what I was eating this past or yesterday. Let me show you guys some of the stuff I was grubbing on. Thanks to the wifey, she put some stuff together. You know, we always got to show our Thanksgiving pictures. Everybody's got to show that turkey. Let's see if we can see. Look at that. I was boiling some stuff in the morning for breakfast. Anna, we launched that podcast yesterday, Thursday. Anna Cadero. Amazing. Look at that. People buying the Raise Flaves hats and sweaters and shirts. 35% or 30% off this. Don't want to say 35, 30% off this whole week. Look, we're going to be at Cali Taco tomorrow with Mr. Corona. Check that out. Don't forget to see that tomorrow morning live at 7 a.m. here on the same channel, twitch.tv/Raise Flaves. Tacos en la mañana. That's tomorrow. There's that beautiful turkey that my wife made. Look at that thing. Amazing, amazing. There's the family. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. It was awesome, awesome time. Just me, my wife, and my son. My other kids were with their mom this year. So just me, my wife, and my youngest son enjoying this wonderful plate here. Corn, mashed potatoes, her beautiful stuffing, green beans with bacon. Everything you put bacon on something, you're making it better. Bacon means better. Okay, it's gonna be fantastic. You got the turkey right there. It's amazing. Crazy, crazy, crazy. That was my Thanksgiving. Hopefully you guys enjoyed your Thanksgiving. What's up, Sereni? The pink painting polish. My girls are in. What's up? What's up? Good morning. Good morning. Happy Thanksgiving. Tacos en la mañana. Tacos. Yes. Hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Yes, we do. Sereni the pink. What's up, guys? Welcome to the stream live here. Twitch.tv/Raise Flaves. We've got a killer guest today. Our guest is amazing. She's today's show is like a little bit about how they used to hunt turkeys, I think. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm just assuming that this is how they used to hunt turkeys. But today's guest is a hairstylist, an up-and-coming nail artist, a teacher at Ingham Intermediate School District. Please help me welcome to the show, Miss Kasey Smith. What's up, Kasey?
Good. Oh, my gosh. You're showing all those pictures of that amazing food from yesterday. It's makes me hungry already.
How was your guys' Thanksgiving? Did you do the whole turkey and everything?
We did. I only had to take a dish to pass, though. I just went and visited family, so that was good.
Nice. That makes it easy. Just one dish. All you got to worry about.
Exactly. I'm so busy these days that that would be a lot for me to just put on. I'm telling
you, you're a teacher. It's what kind of school is it? Is it an intermediate school or 5-2K or what is it?
Yeah, so it's a little bit, it's more of a technical school. So it's actually called the Wilson Talent Center. It's underneath the Ingham Intermediate School District umbrella.
Wilson Talent Center.
Yeah, we serve, I think, 12 or 13 districts in central Michigan. And it's just juniors and seniors in high school. So I currently teach juniors and seniors a full cosmetology program that's 2 years, and then we have a manicurist program that's 1 year.
That's crazy. So then that's how I know you, by the way. I met her through Young Nail. She's coming in February to the Mastering Gel class for all you nail techs in the stream. What's up, Serena the Pink? She's coming in February, the sold out class, Mastering Gel in February with Young Nail. She is a teacher. And I mean, this is okay. I deal with cosmetology schools all across the country. I've been doing it for 18 years. And rarely, once in a while, you find these gyms here. They're showing nails before they even get into the world. So you're talking about junior high and seniors in high school?
So they can take this class either as a junior or senior in high school. It's the full licensure requirement. So by the time they graduate, if somebody took this as a junior, they could have already been practicing out in the world in a salon for a year by the time they get their high school diploma.
Dang, that's crazy. So they get their license before they even get their high school diploma.
And
They're working. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's awesome because it's so a lot of one of the things that teens struggle with. My son's a senior in high school. It's the struggle is always like, what am I gonna do? Like after I get out of school, what am I gonna do? What's my direction? What's my focus? What am I gonna get into? You guys are giving them, you know, they're maybe they're excited about it or curious about it. They come and take your class, and then all of a sudden they have a license. Now, when they get out of school, they have a direction. They already know what they're going to do. They know how to do it, and they're licensed. So that's incredible.
Yeah, it's really cool. A lot of our students get a taste of the nails and then go on to do the full cosmetology program in a private school. A lot of our students practice as a nail tech or cosmetologist, and then that's what they go from there. It's actually where I went to school a few moons ago, but so giving
you
back.
So you got your license there in high school as well?
I did. Yep. The manicure program is a new program we brought on a couple of years ago, but I took the cosmetology program many moons ago. So.
Yeah, because you do hair and everything like that. That's awesome. There's a little bit of an echo. You got headphones?
I don't.
Okay, that's okay. How's it sound out there, Serena the Pink? Hit it in the chat, Painting Polish. Let me know how it sounds. I hear a little bit of an echo, not too bad. But if it sounds like Dodger Stadium, please put it in the chat. Help me out here.
It may be my salon and the walls are big and.
Yeah, it could be just that. I mean, it sounds good. It's just a tiny bit of. It might be just my OCD. Don't worry about it. Let's see here. I mean, it's crazy because you're doing a great thing for your students. You're one of the top schools in the industry you're coming to the top school. Like you're coming to Young Nails, like you're coming to where they train rock stars, where they train people from all over the world. There was Palavia was here last time from India. Your class, there's going to be a girl from Germany. There's people that come from all over the world to train at this one place in Anaheim, California. It's a 20-seat capacity. It's a very private, small, intimate setting. You've got Greg Solo, the president of the company, teaching. You've got Johnny Locklear. You've got Tracy Ryerson. You've got MJ, Vibe Nail Lounge. Follow her on Twitch. Eric and MJ are on Twitch as well. Follow them. You're getting those people, Karen Huneke, in the classroom for educators with 20 girls. We can do this in the back of our hands. You guys must be super excited. Your students must be excited because they probably see us on Twitch. They know who we are. They know the Young Nails brand. They know that you, Kasey, and your friend, I think, is also coming from the school.
Yes. Yep.
Are they excited?
Oh, for sure. When we started this program, we had the same expectations as we do for our COS program, and we seek out the best. If we're trained by the best, then we can put out, the best quality education for them. And our district is amazing. They support us so well. So this was a no-brainer, send us to get trained so we can share that with the students. So
big time.
Since the beginning, and it's amazing products. And so we actually were planning to go to these trainings, the acrylic one and the gel one, in 2020 when everything hit the fan. Right?
No way, way back then. During COVID.
Yeah, and so we had to put that on pause until just now, and that's started back up again. So
Yeah, thank God it's going to make. We'll have a good schedule for 2023. Probably towards the end of January. New schedule up. Do another acrylic class, maybe a gel somewhere else. But this is one of the rarities, gel. In the beginning of the year, most of the popularity, or a lot of people know when they think about nails, it's acrylic, right? So we do a lot of acrylic classes, of course, because the need is there, but definitely want to get another gel one in there. But it's a great, I mean, your school there is some serious quality leadership at that school or that community, possibly, because they were all over it. Like, they were calling me, making sure, like, how can we get it? It's got to be, and it's like there's a process. Like, when you're dealing with the public school, it's not easy. There's a process. You can't just like buy whatever you want. The biggest challenge that's a lot of schools that I deal with have is there's a process. There's a board. They got to go through the board. With the president of the director of the school, whatnot. There's these processes that are in place. To kind of help. Or it seems like it would help. Obviously, now that we have www.youngnails.com, it doesn't help you. Like, you need to just get on and order the stuff. Back in the day, they would have to put in POs with me. Like, they would put in a PO, and then we shipped the order, and then eventually we got paid like 90 days later. But none of that anymore. That's like old school from the 90s. Like, everything is website now. You guys got your own account on the website. You guys are able to order from the website, and you're able to order every product that we carry, every product that Young Nails carries. A lot of companies, they'll say, no, you can only order this, you can't order that, we're going to special discount, and we're going to custom, and all that garbage. We're just like, no, let the students use what they're actually going to use in the salon. So people are doing it in droves. Like, every school across the country is using youngnails.com. They're buying the ultimate acrylic kit. That's the way to go. For the acrylic side, they're buying the professional gel kit on the gel side. And then to balance that out and to partner that up with education is huge. So most of the schools that I deal with, they're what's up, Susie Q? Good morning. Most of the schools are actually just doing the Zoom class. So if it's the easiest way to do it, because it's on Zoom, you're 3 hours with us, you don't got to fly anywhere. Your school's like, hell no, we're going to fly you guys over there. We're going to make sure to get you guys in those seats. We're going to make sure that you got that one-on-one experience with the educators, and a full 5-day experience, at lunch every single day, a dinner ceremony on Thursday night with prizes. And you're going to get full on hardcore put to the test. Are you nervous?
It's funny. I embrace challenges. So to me, this is like another challenge that I get to push myself and do that. If you haven't, figured that out, even by a little snapshot of me on social media, you'll see I like lots of challenges. But my teaching partner is a little more nervous. She's like, are we going to do this? I go, it says it's from beginner to experienced. We are going to do this just fine. It'll be just fine. Like, we got this. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the challenge, and she is too. She's excited, probably a little more nervous than I am, but we're both super, super excited.
Well, yeah, everybody comes from a different perspective and a different scenario. The beginners, of course, they're beautiful blank slate. We can turn them into rock stars easily. The 25-year nail tech who thinks she's been doing it the right way, the wrong way for 25 years, we're going to show them how to do it correctly. Everybody's going to be on the same page. And a lot of times, every class, we get some amazing students, some amazing men and women in the class. And besides nails, some of these nail techs have amazing side talents or other talents. We've had a makeup artist, like a special effects makeup artist on the show, Katie. We've had former executives from Nike's on the show who used to work at Nike, and now they're nail techs. They're fulfilling their dream of becoming a nail tech. And your unique talent, my dear, is you are an archery champion. Is that true?
An amateur archery champion.
Nice.
I haven't ventured into the pro side of it, but amateur wise, yes, I could say that in many ways.
Wow, that's crazy. So some kids get into bicycles when they're young, maybe baseball. You got into archery. How'd you get into that?
So it's kind of funny. My youngest daughter kind of got into archery a little bit. And when she was like 4 or 5 years old, she just thought it looked cool. My whole family's big into hunting, and my husband's had bows for years. And our older kids have always gone out hunting, and I've just been the support person in the background, like, yeah, that's cool. I'm just going to keep doing what I do. And she got into it, and we went to a local competition about 20 minutes from here, and she was this little 5-year-old on the line with these big, tall, 6-foot, guys shooting these bows, and she just stood there and was so proud. And when they got done, they said, how long's she been doing this? And I go, she just started. Why? He goes, really? And he goes, we would really like to see her, what she could do. And so they saw right away that she was super talented.
Wow, that's amazing. And that's your daughter. Is this let me see if I can show a picture of her on the let me see here. Is this her right here?
It is. That's her school picture.
Awesome. That's awesome. And then at some point, Mama gets into the game. Look at this.
Yeah, that was a little awkward. I had to have some pictures for a couple of applications I was doing, because now we're reaching into sponsorships and things like that. So actually, my daughter took those pictures. There's a whole slew of them that she took. But yeah,
wow.
She got into it, and before long, she was really, really competitive in it. And I've been competitive in things for a long time. There we are together. That was at the Spartan Classic just this fall.
Holy moly.
So yeah, the last 5 or 6 years have been a blur. She got really competitive, and my husband saw that she was, there, and he kind of pushed her a little bit more than what a little girl could handle at the moment. So I had to step in and go, okay, so this is how we handle pressure as a kid.
A little balance. Dad's like, there's nothing about win. There's no second place. Second place is nothing.
And he is so amazing at getting us whatever we need, whenever we need it, making sure it works. He is the biggest support person on there. And he shoots too. He does really well, but he's kind of put that on the back burner for us. But she was,
wow,
Mom, if you don't start doing this with me, I'm not going. And I'm like, oh, no, you're too good. You can't. So I went and got a bow, and my husband's like, well, we'll take you to the shop and get you something, you can shoot with. And I'd been around their equipment for years, so I knew what good stuff was. So it wasn't too long before I was like, oh no, I want top of the line, and then his pocketbook showed it real quick. But
oh man, I bet those, I'm sure those bows are like $300 something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe for one piece of it.
Holy, one piece. Holy crap. Those bows look like intense. It's crazy.
Go out, it's just one of those things. I never looked back. It's just always bettering what you do. Most people get into the competitive arena and they start looking around and they're like, oh gosh, look at all my competition. And I just show up and I go, yep, I'm there. So let's do this.
Nice. Where do you think that comes from? Because you mentioned earlier that you've just always been in the competitive sphere. Earlier, did you do other sports, or where did you compete mostly?
Well, I guess I've always been an old soul. So from the time I was really young, I just always wanted to do whatever I was doing to the best of my ability. And I just have that ability to look around and see who that is, and, aspire to do what they do and make it happen. So yeah, I think it's just anything that I put my passion into at the moment, it just has been able to kind of take me to whatever level I want to go to. So I try and just keep my eye on the prize, whatever it is at that moment, and I'm inquisitive, I want to know the why. I don't want to know how to do something. I want to know why you got to do it a certain way so that it achieves the results you want. And then I love sharing it. So that's kind of what's brought me into teaching, and I coach now with archery. It's just a way to kind of expand.
Oh, you become a coach. That's awesome.
I don't think you can really truly do something well unless you can actually teach it to someone else. So It's been cool. I was an educator for a hair care company when I was like 18, and so that
Whoa,
pushing
that
that
early.
is like pushing beyond your fear. Like, I'm from a small town in Michigan, and getting on an airplane was like a big deal at 18 years old. I'd never been outside of the state. And I worked for Lonzo, which was out of California. So I had to travel there quite a bit. And
Nice.
I think that's what's pushed me past my fears of that stuff. I'm like, go for it. You want it? Go for it. You just got to work hard for it.
That's awesome. It's inspiring because not everybody thinks like that. So that's why I ask you where it comes from. It comes from your experience. It becomes from your doing it so early at 18 years old, being a hair educator, being in front of people, talking in front of people. You kind of start to break away those fears. And I don't know where it comes from, but you have this thing where like, you're not afraid of challenges. You're not afraid of the competition. You just want to get it done.
Exactly. Like I said, I was raised in a small town on a farm, and I have like the hardest working parents I know. But they,
it's that farm life.
Yeah. It's like, whatever you do it the best of your ability. It doesn't matter if you're sweeping a floor or, talking in front of people, like whatever it is, like do it to the best of your ability. And that's on you, how much time you put into it, how deep you want to go. You got to put it there.
And you can't, do you think were your parents like, obviously growing up on a farm, obviously you want to do things right, but I think it's a little different. Like us city folks may not understand the why it needs to be done right, because here we can be, especially in California, well, we're living in the sun, but if you're on the plains of Michigan or whatever there, and you don't do the gate right, you don't like tie the gate right together, the freaking horse runs away, and you don't got a horse, or the cows running into the neighbor's grass over there, and he's eating his grass, and that guy gets pissed off. There's dangers involved, like on a farm, right? If you don't drive the tractor correctly, you don't fix the tractor correctly, there's all kinds of things that can go wrong. So there's this hardened lifestyle that you get. I think when I met people from farms and people that have worked on farms or grown up in the farm lifestyle, it's a different mindset, right?
Oh, completely. Like you said, you learn those life lessons really quick. I used to have to stack the hay on the wagons. My dad would drive the tractor, and I get going, well, he was in the Navy and he can stack things, 16, 17 levels high, and they're like perfect little Zanga pieces. But, so I'd get on there and try and do what he did. And every once in a while he'd have to stop. But my husband, actually, when we first started dating, I still had my horses and stuff. And we were out okay, and he's like, how do you do that? I go, just let me do it. I'm just not strong enough. So he tried to do it, and I came and, tried to put things back together, and we hit a gopher hole or something, like some big hole in the field, and half the wagon came down, on us as it went to the side of it. And I was like, this is why you have to stack them a certain way, or, whatever.
That's a great example right there. See what I'm saying?
That's it, and like you said, I've had lots of hard lessons like that. We actually had a fire in our barn once because I was a little kid out and took care of, our animals, and didn't make sure that a couple of the big birds that we had, couldn't get at one of the wires. And so, I've learned like hard lessons.
What the heck?
So there are no shortcuts with me. It's like I tease my kids. We were raised, you feed your animals first. Like, there's no way you sit down to a dinner unless they have clean water that you would drink out of, food that you would.
Oh, damn. Sorry, Holly. I'll be right there.
It was like,
my boxer's pissed. My boxer's listening to this right now. She's
like, uh-oh.
My water is not so clean right now.
They didn't grow up with that, they just didn't. So I used to tease them that like they'd be sitting at the counter eating their cereal, and our cats are outside scratching the door like an ASPCA commercial. It's like, you got stuff, but
that's another thing. You have that you have a different, deeper love for animals because you have animals of the farm, horses, birds, your cats, and I've never heard that part before, where you feed the animals first and, before you eat. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a big deal. My mom was big on that. It wasn't just like throwing food and water to them. It's like, would you drink out of that water? Would you eat that food that you just put in the mud? Would you do that? No. So if you're not going to do it, you better make sure that they're taken care of. So
Wow. That is awesome. That is awesome. It's beautiful. I love that. It's like that Little House on the Prairie type of vision I'm getting in my mind right now. It's awesome.
well, there's pros and cons. Our animals were taken care of like kings, but you know, when it came to other things, it's kind of like the shoemaker's kids never have shoes and all of that good stuff. So
Yeah, dang it.
where your passion is. My parents' passions were, outside with them and doing that. And, my mom was always there for me, like volleyball or doing things. And she actually was the one that helped me through cos school, so
Wow.
you want to do this, we'll do this. So it was good, but
Nice.
yeah, it's hard.
Nice. That's awesome. That's awesome. What's up, Mr. Corona? If you're just joining us, we're here talking to Kasey Smith, Kasey Glenn Smith, championship archer. She is telling us about her family life growing up on a farm, hanging out with the animals, and why you do things right, where this stuff comes from. This is what I'm talking about. I love that you like to know what the why is, because that's what the show is about. It's about passion, whether you're a sculptor, whether you're an artist, whether you're a guitar player, whether you're a chef. Why do you do things? What is it that drives you? How did you get to the point where you've gotten? And we're starting to see that picture here with Kasey Smith, guys. This is an amazing, amazing guest. You're this whole, I love the whole family thing. This is a family show, by the way, if nobody knows that. The family thing, you're doing that. You're learning these wonderful things on the farm, these ways of being that are, I think, not you city folk, like I said, we don't get that kind of image. We don't get to have that kind of experience. So I loved the picture that you gave us of being on the farm, transitioning that into a family competition. Like your daughter won't even do archery unless mom's there. Dad's involved because he likes archery. So naturally, you guys are competing together as a family, which is freaking awesome.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride. It's super cool. We started with just local stuff, and found out real quick that, we love it so much that we do it every weekend. There isn't a conversation at night that we aren't talking about, our new arrow build, or what if we try these veins, or what if we shorten this up, or add a little weight to this and try that, or how many nights are we to practice this week? And we've turned my old barn that used to be holding hay and stuff for animals into a total archery range. So it's now like part
Wow.
of us. We can't imagine it. And I think it's a good balance. I have to have something like that to keep me occupied, challenging myself even more, especially with teaching students the basics. I inspire them a lot with like, hey, you can do anything you put your mind to. Like, what is it? And it could be nails. It could be, maybe I have aspiring doctors and lawyers and all kinds of cool stuff too that are doing this to pay their way through school. But if I didn't have something that also challenged me to the extent that I need to be challenged, I think I would have a hard time, teaching the basics to students all the time. But because I have this, now I can continue to inspire them. Like, go out there and just make yourself better. You just got to be better today than you were yesterday. That's all.
Right. I think there's a difference there, because a lot of people say what you're saying right now, and the words are coming out, but you're doing it. You have, like, you just said it right there. You have these other experiences that are challenging you outside of the school, and you can bring that into the school and say, look, you can do this. I did this, I'm challenged with this, and now I'm gotten to this point and I'm still challenged today. There's these experiences, there's these examples that you can bring to the kids. You're an inspiration. That's why you're coming out here, to get even more experience and go back out. You're awesome.
Exactly. That's exactly what it's about. It's about just showing them. Like I've owned salons for years. I've managed lots of people. I started teaching 3 years ago. I mean, I'd always been a substitute at the school that I went to. It was cool, but
Nice.
doing all of that, I was always the kind of boss that was in the thickets. Like I can't be out leading or out in front. In fact, I loved it when people didn't even know I was the boss. I'm going to do this right alongside of you person. So I'm more of like show me versus tell me. And so I think that comes across in just about everything I do. You know, when I'm coaching kids in archery, I'm like, listen, I'm out here competing with you. If I can do it, you can do it. You know, and then it helps that I am somewhat decent at it. So it helps to show them that they, you know, can do it too. And that's really what's kind of set it apart, you know, is as my students in school, it's like, I've done it. I can tell you a story for every single experience after 20 some years of, you know, traveling, doing just about everything in the business, and then, you know, turning it into this. So I like that I have those experiences to share with them, because I don't like being that person that's like, oh, you could do this. It's like, you can do that. I've done it, and I'll tell you how I did it. And then you can decide if that's right for you. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's like you said, it's good if you don't suck. Like it's good that you're actually good at it. It helps a little bit. Like, yeah, I actually do this for reals, and here's the holes in the target to show you that I got the bullseye, or like made those instances of challenges and triumphs and the steps that it took to get to that point and actually doing it. I mean, you guys are ranked, or you guys are ranked first place in certain areas, right? Is that true?
Yeah, there's a few different associations that we belong to. We belong to 4 or 5 of them, but
Wow.
well, right now my daughter's first in some of them and second in the nation in her age division in a handful. So she's right up there at the top. I'm in the, I'd say top 5 in the amateur ranks in my division. Of course, you know, I'm twice the age of everybody else in my division.
Yeah, but there's got to be what, thousands of people in these things. Like,
Oh yeah.
I mean, everybody at the amateur level, there's got to be tons. I mean, like people that just do it for fun, there's lots of people of those. But then to get to the amateur level, there's thousands of people of those, and then you get into the pro level and that stuff. That's crazy.
You know, there really isn't a pro level. There's a money class and a non-money class.
Oh,
The big money and the little money is what they say. So I guess technically I'm in the little money class, but
nice.
yeah,
Oh,
no,
so there's some money involved in this.
there is a little bit. It's a little bit of a gamble.
I'm
So
starting to like this. I took an archery class for like 5 days when I was in the Boy Scouts. Do I qualify?
I don't see why not. If you want to get out there and do it, you know, I'm part of the associations here in Michigan, and we recruit, you know, people all the time. My biggest goal has been to get families involved. You know, there's usually like the husbands do it and the wife, you know, they're always like, oh, my wife won't let me buy this or that. I go, well, then get her into it. If she gets into it, it'll be like all holds barred. Like, no.
Yeah. My wife, it's tricky. My wife does do, like, she used to do archery like before. I don't know what stopped her, but we have like this like bow in the garage. I don't know what to do with them, but she's got that stuff, and I'm surprised she doesn't get back into it. It's freaking awesome.
Well, I think a huge push got into it through COVID, because it's something you can do in your backyard. You know, you can do it on your own. They still allowed events here outdoors before they did indoors. So it was something that was still.
Now, just a disclaimer, she said you could do this in your backyard. Los Angeles, I don't know that you can do this in your backyard, where our backyard's a little smaller. And if you flick it over the yard and it hits the dog, the neighbor's dog, you might be in some trouble. So check with your local laws there. I'm not sure you could do that in LA, but give it a shot.
This is true. Although I do know a pro archer that lives in California that has about 20 yards inside of her house that she's filled out, and she's got a bag inside her house that she practices.
Damn, that's awesome. So she's got it's like some people have bowling alleys in their mansion. She's got an archery range inside there.
Exactly. We do too. When it gets cold here, you know, to warm up the whole barn, sometimes tough. So we've got a 10-yard, you know, path in our living room that, you know, we can sit and make sure that we're at least still keeping our form and shooting up and doing, you know, all that.
No way. Yeah, some people have the little golf putting grass. You guys have the freaking hallway. Don't be going through their hallway if they're practicing. You don't want to get stabbed by the arrow there.
Well,
that's crazy.
I have a husband that, you know, feeds that for me. Like when I wanted to own a salon, you know, he helped me build a salon. When I wanted to come, you know, home and have a studio in my home, like he was like, all right, let's do this. I think the garage will work. And so we transformed our garage into a studio salon for me. And, You know, when
Dang.
I want to be competitive and me and Claire are going to go as far as we can go. He was like, all right, let's get this, barn situated and get it going. And I'm like, all right, if we're going to be the best, we got to own the range and I got to be practicing what we're doing and, all of that. And so he's super, super supportive, which really helps.
Yeah, you got to have that support behind you to be able to do what you want to do. It's crazy. My wife is supporting me right now by sleeping. She's sleeping right there, and she's not bothering me whatsoever. So she's hella supportive of this show. So thank you, wife, for doing that. Fantastic. So does your husband, now that everybody's in the game, and it could have been maybe some secret thing that he was doing, now that everybody's in the game, does he get to go out hunting for wild boar and turkeys now that everybody's in?
Yeah, so what's super funny is, I was raised on a farm, so none of us were hunters. It's like, why would you go out and hunt for wild deer when you can have, the animals we raised in the freezer? But
you have them there, yeah.
Yeah, and so we have some property, and it used to drive me nuts when he was hunting. I was like, really, you're going out hunting again? Like, really? Like, how many hours can you sit there and do nothing? And now I'm like, you aren't going out this morning? Like, what if you're missing that big buck that you had on the, camera last night? What if this, or what if the neighbor gets it? Like, get out there and get after it.
Nice. Now you understand. You're part of the game.
I get it. And seeing my kids' faces light up, like, I get out a little bit, but for me, I just don't have the time. So I get to live vicariously through them. If I'm gonna, put the time behind a bow, I'm not gonna sit in a stand and wait for a deer. I'm just going to go out to the range and shoot. And so I tease them that the reason I don't hunt around here is because, I want to hunt something that can hunt me back. That would make it really exciting.
Oh, wow. So you want to create a Game of Thrones, like you want to create like what is that movie, Ramon? Ramon's in the chat, that movie where the Squid Games. So Kasey wants to have her own Squid Games. If any humans want to volunteer to run away from Kasey, she will hunt you down in the forest with her bow. I don't know if you want to challenge her because she is a world-class champion archer in the low money, but I will put my money on her because she will probably get you. She will hunt you down in the forest. She's got she's got that championship mindset. She'll hunt you down, and it will be no bueno for you, my friends. Kasey Smith's Squid Games on the farm. If you guys want to join that, put it in the chat.
But yeah, it's that how that works out. You just look at it, and now I see where he wants to do that, and it's cool. It's really cool. So yeah, he gets to hunt. He's really improved his game. Before he used to be like, I'll just go and make sure that you guys get where you need to be and do all that. And I kept saying, that's kind of nice to take the pressure off yourself. We have to walk out here and get past the nerves and do all that, but he's really upped his game. So don't tell him, but I'm really, really proud of him. So,
has he, cause he's used to shooting animals. Does he go now and put those targets up with you guys every once in a while and then shoot a couple?
Oh yeah. So he's been really going after it. He used to take us to practice and stuff, and now he's taken his bow and working with our coaches and doing that, Coach Glenn at MSU. Well, when we first got into it, my husband said, I've taught you everything I know. I can't help you. So you need to go to, Michigan State and the Demmer Center, and they've got lessons and stuff. And so I walked in there and like everything changed. I started working with the coach there, and he is amazing. And he goes, sometimes people walk in here and they just kind of dabble in this a little bit. He goes, and then you walk in. He's like,
yeah, I don't think there's anything that Kasey does like a little bit of. Like, I think you even take cereal eating seriously. Like you take everything to the extreme. You're all in.
All in. I got to make sure that we put just the right amount and just the right amount of crunch. Yep, I'm right there.
Nice. See, told you.
It's fun. He goes, this is going to be fun, and he goes, the problem is you think too much. And I go, well, that's kind of how I work. So you're going to have to figure out how to let me think too much in this.
Yeah, because you want to know the why. You're like me. I want to know why. That's why I do the show. Does it drive people? Does it drive anybody crazy that you like? Why is this? Why is this bow? Why is this string? Why is it tied like this? Why is it? I think I drive people crazy when I do that, but I do the same thing. Like, how come they're like, why don't you just do what I tell you? Yeah, but why do I got to do that? It's always
I
my question.
do it a little nicer. I try and, bring the kindness to it to where I don't, super annoy people, but I stand back and look and watch, and the wheels are just a turning. And then I'm like mentally remembering all my questions. I think being a teacher has helped me realize how annoying that can be if you don't do it right.
Yeah, if you got 30 kids being why, then that's like a teacher's nightmare.
But yeah, now we've gotten into, it wasn't very long before I wanted to set up my own equipment. I didn't want to have to wait until I got to a bow shop and have somebody do it and then find out they did it not quite to my standard or, whatever. And so I worked with Coach Glenn. He's taught me how to set up my first, full setup. And, now I show him my little tips and tricks that I find along the way. So I can literally take a bow out of the box now and set it up and be ready to shoot it, in 24 hours, which is also another challenge. There's a challenge to just like being able to go out and use something, but like to know how to take it apart, fix it, make it just right for you, and then go out and compete with it is pretty sweet.
Yeah, because they have different weights. Is that correct? Like the pull on them have different weights, and it's some of them. Like one, Tom Hune was showing me his. Ramon knows Tom Hune. Tom Hune is a famous nail tech as well, a legendary nail tech, and he actually is a world-class fisherman as well as a world-class hunter. He hunts boar and turkeys. There's videos of him on YouTube hunting down turkeys in the forest. Very, very epic, almost Rambo-like style hunting these turkeys. He really gets into it. But the bow, it's like I can't even pull it apart. It's so strong. It's like very, very like the weight, I guess they say in archery.
So a good rule of thumb for hunting is you need to be able to pull at least 40 pounds back on a bow. Is a good,
40 pounds.
40 pounds, it's good. But most hunters are out there with 60 to 70 pound draws. I'm like at 50 to 55 now. When I first started, it was like, I could barely do anything. It was like 25 to 27 pounds. It was almost dangerous to turn my bow down that low. But you build up muscles that you don't use for anything else. So it's definitely a challenge in itself, even being able to pull back more weight, to get more speed and accuracy and all that good stuff and be able to hold steady. So,
how do you train for something like that? Is it like you go to the gym and you go to that plate thing, that plate machine, and you just kind of pull on it? And you like put 50 in there, and then you go 60. Was that how you guys train?
I should train at the gym. That's the next thing. But
that would be like the best thing, I would assume.
The biggest thing to do is just shoot your bow. The more
shoot the bow,
the more you get stronger and the more you can, accurately shoot. So, when you first start out, you get tired after pulling that bow back even 10 times, and then it's like, you can pull it back 20 times. And then all of a sudden, you're turning up poundage and you can shoot 150 arrows in a couple hours and it's no big deal.
Dang, that's 150 reps right there.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It is. These bows aren't light. I know there's a lot of pictures of them on Instagram, but I own 5 of them myself. I can't ever part with my ones that I've competed with. So my husband's like, seriously, you have more bows than any of us.
Dang.
But I set them up for different things and I tinker with them. But, the bow themselves might weigh like 4 pounds. But by the time you get all your stabilizers and sights and, all your equipment on them, they're good 12 to 15 pounds you're holding out in front of you while you're pulling back 50 pounds. So it's added a lot of strength and ability. And then, it's one thing to be inside and shooting at a paper target, but then you're out on a range. We shot the Midwest Classic last year that literally was like 7 or 8 miles of trekking through hills and then shooting at, distances of 5 yards to, 60 to 70 yards out there. And then you got to retrieve your arrows. So
do they like create ranges for you guys have to like walk, like trek through the thing and then shoot and then trek through and then shoot? Like it's like an obstacle course kind of thing?
It is completely like an obstacle course. So they put out
that's fun.
Animals and you shoot at those. I think I've got a lot of pictures on there if you want to share that. But they're real lifelike animals that you shoot. They're foam and you go out there and they put them in weird positions or bad lighting or down in hills. And stuff like that. So, it isn't just being able to shoot them, it's being able to do it. I think
Wow.
like,
Let me see. You're
that,
on the
that,
field.
that lane underneath the family one there, I think down, yeah.
Oh, right here.
Have something. So you can see the animal back in there. That's kind of an example of
So that's not real. That's an actual target, fake
a
deer.
foam target. Yeah.
That's crazy. It looks so real. Number 12, you got to make sure you go to number 12. Like people probably miss certain ones and they don't get points or whatnot. Is that what goes on?
Yeah, so each one has like a scoring ring on it, which I think I might have in one of these. That's me practicing in the backyard. I'm sure there's one up close. It might be up a little higher, actually.
Well, scoring ring?
Yeah. Oh, actually, if you go scroll down to the one that had the red on it, let's see. I think one more maybe. Keep going. Right. That one right there that has like the message on it.
This right here?
Yeah, so that's an animal. I think there's multiple pictures in there. That was a late night practice. That's in our range in the barn. I only had the 2 in there. I don't know if we can zoom in, but
there's like little like rings on the animal.
Yeah, so those are scoring rings. So it depends on where you hit them, like how many points you get. So
wow, you can see the arrows hit. Wow.
Yeah, so the upper and the lower little rings are worth 12 points. Those are the highest you can get. And then this whole center of that thing is worth 10. So unlike golf, you want, higher scores are better. You don't want to.
Yeah, there you go. You want to actually get the big points. That's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So it's super, super fun. Yep, that's me and my daughter right there getting ready to shoot.
That's awesome. How old is she?
She's 11. She'll be 12.
Oh my gosh, she's a little thing, just the big old bow, these big old arrows, and she's rocking it out. That's freaking awesome.
She has been so fun to see and watch, and it's been cool, for us to learn together, like how to handle the pressure of, what we're doing.
The pressure of not just holding this bow. Look at the way you're holding this probably 50 pounds or whatever it is, and the pressure of doing this in front of, see this head right here, this head of hair here, there's probably multiple people in there, people watching, husbands taking pictures in the back, who knows, and you're competing at a high level. The pressure of the archery, some of the samurai used to do this as a kind of Zen, kind of a meditational type of thing, where they breathed a certain way, and the way they did it and the way they pulled back the thing. Is there kind of that kind of meditation stuff for you there? Like a kind of like it, obviously you love it, so it gets you in that zone. Is it relaxing for you? I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I mean, I think that's why I love it so much. My brain's always moving. When I owned the salon, I could be having a full conversation with my client and know everything that's going on around me too. And so I've always had that, I don't know, almost I can focus, so it's not like ADHD, but it almost is. I can pay attention to everything all at once. And archery lets me take a break. You have to have a clear mind for it. You have to slow your breathing down. If your heart's pounding, it comes out, makes everything shaky. I have a tendency to have low blood pressure, so thank God, because that helps me in what I'm doing.
Chills you out.
But yeah, it is a Zen moment. To be good at this game, you have to shoot subconsciously. You have to just let your muscle memory take over. If I'm actively thinking when I'm doing it, it messes everything up. And so you have to be able to kind of just channel that and just breathe. So I literally have a whole breathing process of when I take a breath, when I let it out, and everything you do with this is done the exact same way, the exact same timing, the exact same position over and over. And that's what you aspire to do, is doing everything in the exact same way.
And ultimately letting go, right, is the whole game.
And I am not good at that. If you haven't known, I am a control freak. And so to have to do that is not only a challenge, but to just trust that my subconscious brain knows what it's doing. When I get in its way, it's a problem. So learning anything to the point where you can literally do it without thinking. I try and teach kids like, that are driving or whatever. I go, when you're just in the zone and you're thinking about something else, but you're driving, you don't even remember if you stopped at that stop sign back there or something. Like you did, you just don't have to think about it anymore. You do it until you're at that level. And that's kind of what it is. I actually have to keep my brain focused on something. So I have to repeat over and over while I'm doing it, like aim, or, something like that to keep my subconscious from taking over. So it's zen, it's relaxing, but at the same time, a challenge. So it's pretty cool. The challenge really comes down to not getting frustrated. It's so easy. I see
kind of like golf.
Yeah. I mean, even my husband to a point, I think he's gotten better. But we used to shoot on the line next to each other and I'd request, like, we can't shoot on the same line with each other. Like he can't be anywhere near me because he's so like, oh man. And he's got all this negative vibe next to me and he's getting down on himself.
He's getting all that anger around. You're like, get out. I need my zen. I need my zen.
Feel you over there. Like, ugh.
It's true. It's true.
It totally is. And, people that shoot near me, they're like, you are so calming. I'm like, hell yes, I'm calm because I'm not going to let that get to me,
It's crazy. Yeah. You guys are both there. Like me, when I'm cooking, I'm calm when I'm in the kitchen by myself. But when my wife comes in, she cooks, she's got this whole other method. It's like more forceful. Like, I can't cook when you're around. Like you got to be, when you cook. And when I cook. It's like they're separate because it's just too like you said, like you feel that energy. It's crazy.
Exactly. And I think that's the challenge is like, even when you're in the salon, you might be working next to somebody that just drives you absolutely nuts, but you've got to like channel it. Or, when I'm out on the competition, I might be shooting in a group of people that just are so down on themselves. And so I've made it my mission that whatever I'm doing, whoever I'm near, like we're going to make the best of this because I've never won on a day that everybody else wasn't having fun. So it's
nice
deal, and it's like that in the salon. Like, at the end of the day, like there's bigger things. There's bigger things that matter. And I want to walk out of whatever we're doing, with a smile on my face. Like, yeah, we rocked it. It was good. We handled it, took care of business and moved on. And so we have that mindset going into competition. My daughter's really picked up on it, which I got to see recently. With some things at school, she was having an issue with a bully at school and she goes, Mom, I'm just like not into the drama. She's like, she's just, I only have to worry about what I think about myself. And so I just don't have time for that, and
nice.
Wow, that is so cool. That is so cool to see her just sit there, just chilling and be like, seriously? Like I just got to worry about myself. And I attribute that to the competing at that level. Like she's got a target on her back. I got a target on mine. Like I said, we used to walk into places and be like, oh my gosh, so-and-so's here. Like, oh, I really got to bring it today. And now I walk in with that confidence of like, I'm going to bring it because that's what I do. And on any given day, I'm their competition. And so
nice.
It's really cool. And so to do that and have that confidence, I think comes from competing like that and being able to tune out, the negative. Like I have a hard time even watching the news or doing anything with that because I think you just inherit that negative energy. And I'm at the point now, I think in my life where it's like, nope, I'm going to turn it into good or it's just not worth my time.
Yeah. I don't even watch the news anymore. That's what we don't even talk about the news on this show because I have a different show where you can escape from all that, where it's positivity, it's family, it's archery, it's positivity, it's passion, it's stuff like that. I love your students. I think are so lucky to have you and your daughter, you're showing and teaching some amazing strategies of number one, being highly competitive and structured and focused and doing things right. Number two, not caring and focusing on exactly what you're doing and not caring what other people think. There's a great book out there called Not Giving an F of What People Think or something like that. I put it in the chat if you know what that is. It's called The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F. That's what the book's called.
I love it.
It's a great book.
Love it.
It's a great. I highly recommend that book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F. You're going to be coming down here to California soon. I get to see you in February. When you come down, you're going to be flying from an actual competition. Is that correct?
Yeah. So we're going to have a little challenge on our hands. Getting me in and out in the time frame I need to be, but I think it's all going to work out. I'm coming in from the IBO, which is the International Bow Hunters Organization. Their indoor nationals is in Ohio. So it's only about a 3-hour drive for me, but I'm going to fly out of there coming into class. And then I'm going to fly into Nashville because I've got the USA Archery.
Right after the class, you got to fly in from a competition, going out to a competition in Nashville.
Yep. And then my husband will be, taking all of our equipment back and forth. So I'll get to go with the IBO Nationals, and then I'll fly out of there, and then he'll go home, and then he'll have to make his way out to Kentucky. It's actually Madisonville, Kentucky is where we'll be for the second.
That's crazy. Is he coming to California when you come?
He is not. He's going to have going back and forth. So
yeah.
No, it would have been fun, but it'll be really interesting to see what 5 days of intense work on something other than archery does for my nationals game that weekend. But
you're going to be like focused in. It's going to be all about focus on the nail, a little smaller surface. Exactly.
Yeah, but I'm a big proponent of the mental game. So I'm going to put it to the test that week. They say that if you can mentally rehearse something as if you're in that space, it's just as good as doing it physically. So True.
I think you're 100% right. If you can visually focus what it's going to be like in that moment, you can kind of get into a state where you can perform really, really well. I've seen that many times.
Yeah, so it'll be really cool, but that's kind of our life. We've been in the off season. Well, I call it the off season because for me it's the off season. It's hunting season for everybody else that shoots a bow. But from about September to December, you get a little bit of an off season. And then every weekend here on out, with as involved as we are with things, we've got either a national tournament or a really big local one. So
wow, that's incredible.
It'll go nonstop all the way through August now.
Kasey, that's amazing. I want to thank you, number one, for coming on the show, sharing your passion with the bow. I look forward to seeing you in February. Guys, she says, I've never won unless everybody else is having fun. That's Kasey Smith. Thank you so much, my girl.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It was really fun. I so look forward to being there in February.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see you guys. Guys, thank you for tuning into the Race Flays podcast special edition, the Thanksgiving edition, how they used to do it in the old days. Kasey's still doing it with the archer, with the bow, with the arrow, championship archer. Don't forget to catch us tomorrow live in California. We're freaking going to Cali Tacos and having tacos, literally the tacos in the manana. So every Saturday morning, 7 a.m. with Mr. Corona. Mr. Corona's in the feed right now. Ramon's in the feed right now. If you're going to chat with them, Mr. Corona actually volunteered, Kasey. He said, when you come to California, he'll put an apple on his head and have you shoot it off of his head. Is pretty, you can do that, right?
Yeah, I could attempt it.
Good luck, Mr. Corona. You are volunteering for that. Awesome. We'll film the whole thing and get that done, Mr. Corona. Great. Thank you for volunteering for that, Mr. Corona. That's very, very, very good of you. Thank you for that.
I am so humbled by his trust in me.
He trusts you. He's like, if you're in the amateur game, you can easily hit an apple off of a head. We saw that other animal where there was holes outside of the ring. Hopefully that wasn't Kasey, but that's okay. We'll figure that out when you come to California, Mr. Corona. I don't know what you're going to do, but thanks for volunteering for that. That's awesome. Kasey, we're going to do something crazy right here. What we always do is we jump into another channel. It's called a raid. We're going to jump and take everybody that's on the stream into another channel, and then I'll meet you back here in the studio and we'll finish up. Okay?
Sounds good.
Here we go. Where are we going to raid today, guys? We are going to raid Hungry, a cooking channel. You're going to love what they do here on Hungry Food and Drink. I get a lot of recipes from this. A lot of French cooks go on this. Let's raid Hungry, the Food and Drink channel. Ready to raid in 8 seconds, 7 seconds, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are rating now. There we go.